Superstar Dolph Ziggler, Ricochet,
AJ South,
Seth freaking Rollins, and this is BrettO Live on YouTube.
What is going on, guys? BrettO Live back with another video, and today we have the Week in Review setup, episode 121. This is where we go over Raw and Smackdown in a setup style. I tell you guys what happened, tell you what I thought about it, how they can improve, if it was bad, if it was good. And fun fact, this Monday Night Raw was in my hometown, Chicago. Absolutely insane. I was about to go to this show. I was debating on going to this show. I am so glad I did not. It was boring. So boring. Oh my gosh. I can't even begin to start, but we're going to talk about it. It was a boring show. Let's jump in. Starting over here, it was Akira Tozawa having a regular match against Reginald for the 24/7 championship. It was boring. Reggie, he did some acrobatic stuff, escaped Akira Tozawa by pinning him, and just ran away. It was super lame. I cannot stand the 24/7 championship. Honestly, I think it's ruining young talent like Akira Tozawa and Drew Gulak and Humberto Carrillo, the people that are chasing it, like the goons I like to call them. I think it's just ruining certain characters like that, so I was not a big fan of that whatsoever. I believe this was the opening match of the night. It was Drew McIntyre versus Veer and Shanky in a 2-on-1 handicap match. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm kind of looking forward to this. But then Jinder rushes the ring about mid-match with a steel chair and just causes a disqualification. And then it ended with Veer, Shanky, and Jinder all with steel chairs, but Drew had the sword. So he hit the chair out of a couple of the guys' hands, and then they ran away. And then Drew just stood tall with the sword. I'm like, that was okay. Not my favorite part of the show, but yeah, it was okay. I'm not really the biggest fan of this Jinder-Drew rivalry. It's just not, it does absolutely nothing for me. Moving over here, it was the opening night. They've been hyping this up all week. Goldberg is going to be on Raw, answering the challenge to Bobby Lashley. It is going to be at SummerSlam. Lashley versus Goldberg, basically confirmed here. I wasn't expecting anything less, but yeah, it should be pretty good at SummerSlam. As far as the promo goes, it wasn't too bad. They taunted Goldberg a little bit, and then they taunted his freaking 20-year-old looking son who's 15, and I remember the last time he was in WWE, it might have been 2018. Kid looked like he was like 7, not even. I'm like, oh my gosh, what the heck happened? But yeah, so MVP was taunting him, and then Goldberg ran down, hit the spear on MVP. I guess it was kind of cool, but yeah, it was just okay. It's not my favorite thing. Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg, not my favorite rivalry of all time right there, obviously. Moving over here, no, it was not Natalya out there. It was actually Tamina versus Doudrop in a one-on-one match. It was okay. I wasn't really expecting too much from that, but like I said, Tamina, Doudrop, one-on-one. Tamina actually ended up winning the match. I was actually kind of surprised about that. And then after the match, Doudrop and Eva Marie were just in the ring, and then Alexa Bliss popped him on the screen saying, oh, the loss and this and that. I was like, oh my gosh, so stupid. They got rid of Bray Wyatt, but not Alexa Bliss. I know there's reasons behind Bray Wyatt's firing, but still, it's just, I don't know. Moving over here, it was Nia Jax versus Rhea Ripley in a one-on-one match, and this was another match where it was just like, yeah, it was okay, but it was just not amazing. It was not like that good, you know what I mean? It was a pretty simple match. Rhea Ripley did hit a pretty cool riptide on Nia Jax after the match. I believe so. I believe it was after the match. But yeah, Rhea Ripley did end up winning this match. And then Shayna's like, oh, really? And then they teased a little breakup between the two, Shayna and Nia. I could care less if they broke up, to be honest. But yeah, Rhea Ripley ended up winning. It was all right. Moving over here is Ali and Mansoor still trying to find their grounds in a tag team. They went up against Retribution again. Literally, week 2, Retribution, again. And obviously, Mustafa Ali's hometown is Chicago, Illinois, so it was pretty cool to see him come out to the crowd. I was like, wait, why is the crowd going crazy for Ali? I'm like, oh my gosh, he's from Chicago, that's why. I forgot about that. And then they make him lose. I'm like, what? Why'd you make Ali lose? But yeah, Ali ended up losing, and Mansoor, obviously, to Retribution, and I don't really care, to be honest. Oh, this was so bad. Matt Riddle versus Omos, one-on-one. I basically only have one thing to say about it. Matt Riddle got absolutely destroyed by Omos, and that was it. Where's Randy Orton? Like, what the heck is going on? I think Orton might be injured. But dude, like, where is Orton? That was like the best thing about Raw was RK Bro, and then Randy Orton's just gone. I'm like, no, that sucks. But yeah, that was super lame. Moving over here, this actually got a little better. Karrion Kross versus Keith Lee. They had another ladder match. Gosh, all these rematches are so annoying. But Karrion Kross, Keith Lee, yet again, one-on-one here. And Keith Lee actually ended up getting a victory, which was really cool to see. But at the expense of Karrion Kross, though, it doesn't work either way. I didn't see either of the guys losing. But, of course, you have to have a loser. So Karrion Kross was that loser after a Spirit Bomb from Keith Lee to Karrion Kross. And then it was over from there. But, yeah, I don't like to see Karrion Kross losing, even because he's the NXT champion and he's being called up to the main roster. Like, what is the thinking here? But yeah, whatever. Keith Lee ended up picking up the victory. Interested to see where he's going to go. Moving over here, it actually started off with Damian Priest versus John Morrison. Damian Priest ended up picking up the victory, 1, 2, 3, and then Sheamus attacked Priest with Morrison. Then it turned into Ricochet and Priest versus Morrison and Sheamus, and then it ended the exact same way. Priest pinned John Morrison again. So it was basically a 2-in-1. The same thing happened twice, just in a tag team format the second time. But yeah, it was pretty cool to see Ricochet back out there on Raw in his wrestling gear, going crazy, doing some awesome moves. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, as far as the matches, yeah, not too bad. But I do like Priest. I do like Priest on the microphone, and I do like him in the ring. I think he's pretty awesome. Moving over here is the main event of the show. It was Nikki Cross versus Charlotte. Nikki Cross claiming that she could beat Charlotte, but this one was in a no-holds-barred match. So Charlotte definitely has some excuses to why she lost this match. Obviously, no-holds-barred is very different from a regular standard one-on-one match. So Nikki Cross here was able to pick up the victory with a little spinning maneuver on the middle rope, and Nikki Cross ended up going through the announcer's desk. They used kendo sticks. It was a really fun match. I actually kind of enjoyed it. Not my favorite match of the night, but yeah, it was pretty good. Cool to see Nikki Cross pick up the victory, and then she celebrated with the crowd. Not bad at all, but I do think at SummerSlam that Nikki Cross is going to drop that title. I really do. I don't know. I just think they want to give more title reigns to Charlotte. 12-time champ? I don't know. It could be on the horizon. But yes, guys, that was Monday Night Raw setup style. In the end, I'm probably going to give Raw I really don't want to give it a 1, but it was so freaking boring. I'm going to give Raw a 1 out of 5. I just thought it was so lame and just nothing. Just nothing. I don't know. Just nothing seems important anymore on this show. Monday Night Raw, 1 out of 5. Let's jump into SmackDown. And continuing the week in review, of course, with SmackDown. How can we forget it? Probably the better show out of the week over Raw. Even though this week was a little weak, I only really liked 2 things out of the show. But without further ado, we are going to get into the entire show. Same format, tell you guys what happened, tell you what I thought about it. So let's do it. Starting over here, opening match of the show. No, it was not Rey Mysterio, but it was Dominic Mysterio versus Jey Uso in a one-on-one match. Dominic, of course, trying to prove himself to his dad that he could win a match by himself. Of course, Rey Mysterio was out there, tried to help out Dominic a little bit. It looked like Jimmy Uso was trying to get involved, but then Rey Mysterio, he avoided the disqualification, and Jimmy Uso trying to get involved, but it did not work out in his favor. It distracted Dominic in order for Jey Uso to super kick Dominic and then hit a frog splash on him, and then Dominic was all over from there. 1, 2, 3. Jey Uso was able to pick up the victory, and you gotta think next week on SmackDown, Dominic's gonna be like, but Dad, you kind of distracted me with this and that. So I think there might be a little controversy starting with the Mysterios. You never know. I think that's kind of interesting. I could get with that. I think that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, as far as that match goes, it was all right. Moving over here in the beginning of the show was actually Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks talking it out. Yes, they're going to have a match at SummerSlam. And then Selena Vega come out. She's like, where's my opportunity? And then, of course, as you guys would assume, it was later in the show, Bianca Belair versus Selena Vega in a one-on-one match. Basically, if Selena Vega wins, she fights whoever wins at SummerSlam. Whoever walks out with the title, she will face. But it didn't really work out in her favor. Selena Vega lost the match with a KOD from Bianca Belair. The match itself was just okay. I wouldn't really say it was nothing special. But yeah, the match itself was just alright, and like I said, Bianca Belair was able to pick up the victory. Good momentum going towards SummerSlam. Moving over here, this was so bad. Oh my gosh. It was Apollo Crews versus Shinsuke Nakamura. If it'll focus. Shinsuke Nakamura, Apollo Crews, one-on-one. Not for the Intercontinental Championship, but it was a contenders match. So basically, if Shinsuke Nakamura wins the match, then he gets a future Intercontinental title opportunity. He basically won the match, but by disqualification. Commander Aziz, which in my opinion is ruining the Apollo Crews heel turn, literally pulled Shinsuke out of the ring, causing a disqualification, and then that's all. That's literally all that happened. I'm like, this is total crap. absolute garbage. I was not a fan of that whatsoever. Moving over here, it was an amazing, literally an amazing promo between Edge and Seth Rollins, who was live via satellite. He brought it via satellite. I thought that was pretty cool how Seth Rollins showing his cowardly acts popping up on the Titantron live via satellite. Like I already said, he mentioned Edge family a couple times. Edge challenged him to SummerSlam, obviously the match we all knew we were going to see. He challenged him to SummerSlam. Seth Rollins is like, I'll have to think about that. And then Edge started calling him out on how Seth Rollins is just a younger Edge, but a more weaker Edge. And then Seth Rollins is like, you got your match. And just hyping up Seth Rollins, talking about all the things that's happened in 2014 with the Authority, how he tried to break his neck with the Big Show and James Ellsworth, which was freaking amazing, by the way. And then Cena helped out Edge. So awesome. Love how they're calling back to that moment. But yeah, as far as the match goes for SummerSlam, I'm so hyped for it. And this promo got me even more excited. So very great job, Edge and Seth Rollins. You guys nailed it ×2. Not bad at all. Moving over here was the Street Profits. Montez Ford back live here on SmackDown with his brother, Angelo Dawkins. Street Profits versus Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler, the Dirty Dogs. It was a 2-on-2 tag team match. Really enjoyed this one, actually. It wasn't too bad. The match itself, like I said, was not too bad, but the ending was where it was at. We saw freaking Montez Ford, had to have been at least 12 feet in the air, a 12-foot frog splash all the way from the top rope, landing on top of Dolph Ziggler. 1, 2, 3. It was freaking awesome. I love when Ford does that. Even though I'm not really the biggest fan of the Street Profits, but when Montez Ford pops out that freaking frog splash, it's like, holy cow, I got some mad respect for him. That was freaking epic, and they were able to pick up the victory. Gotta think they're going to be gunning for those tag team championships that the Usos currently hold. Not bad at all. Moving over here was Tegan Nox versus Tamina. This was just a filler match. Not entertaining whatsoever, I gotta be honest. Tamina looked like she was about to pick up the victory, but then Shotzi Blackheart shot the tank at Tamina, distracting her in order for Tegan Nox to pin Tamina. I was like, that was okay. Total crap in my opinion. They just need to bring back Natalya. Of course, she is injured at the moment, but when she does come back, I think it'd be pretty cool to see them go up against Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart. But yeah, as far as this match goes, utter crap. Moving over here, main event of the show, it was Finn freaking Balor versus Baron Corbin. Finn Balor said, the old Finn Balor would have just stepped aside of what happened with me last week with John Cena and Baron Corbin, but the new Finn Balor is not going to take any crap. I'm like, yes, they're not taking him out of the Universal title picture. They're still going to keep him in there with Roman Reigns. I'm like, yes, let's freaking go. He was able to beat King Corbin, which I thought was awesome. Hit him with the coup de grace. Corbin was out of there, but then right after the match, Roman Reigns popped out, made his presence felt. He looked like he was about to enter the ring. He was talking a little crap, but then the Usos from behind attacking Finn Balor, not letting him get to Roman Reigns. And Finn Balor was looking like he was about to take care of the Usos, but then Roman Reigns came back down, and then it was 3-on-1. Finn Balor cannot do anything about that, but I really, really like the way that they are booking Finn Balor here, keeping him in the storyline with Roman Reigns and John Cena, even though he wasn't there. I think this is awesome how they aren't just pushing him aside, which I was a little worried about that they were going to do, but I'm really glad that they didn't, and I'm really happy with how the ending of the show went with Finn Balor getting beat up. I think that's going to be awesome. You can have John Cena on next week's SmackDown. Maybe we could see a tag team match. I think that'd be really freaking cool. But yes, as far as the ending goes, though, that was really good. In all, the only two good things that I really enjoyed about this show was the Roman and Finn stuff, and then the Seth and Edge stuff. I really enjoyed that. But yes, guys, that was SmackDown. That was Raw setup style. In the end, I'm going to give SmackDown a solid, probably going to give it a 2.5 out of 5, only because we had the good Roman stuff, good Edge and Seth promo. Everything else was just okay for me, kind of stale. But yeah, guys, that was the weekend review. Really hope you guys enjoyed. BrettO Live out.